and welcome to our show. My name is Francine Scaboria, and I serve as the Communications Coordinator at Safe Berks. Safe Berks is the local nonprofit that serves survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault in Berks County. All our services are free, confidential, and available in English, Spanish, and any other language needed. I would like to welcome our guest today. This is Autumn Fritz.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Autumn is the Assistant Director of Community Development at Penn State Berks. And I just have to say, welcome, and also Penn State Berks is such a wonderful gem in our community. And
Thank you, I like to think so too.
Yes, it's wonderful. I'm a Penn State grad myself, and my dad taught there, so I spent a lot of time there growing up, and it's wonderful. And thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself and some of the work that you do at Penn State Berks.
Okay, so as she said, I am the Assistant Director of Community Development, and so that entails a lot of other duties as assigned. Two of the assignments are related to Safe Berks in that I work with our Stand First State, which is our bystander intervention training program.
Great.
As well as I am the backup coordinator for our Title IX office at the Penn State Berks campus. And so about me, I have a background in psychology from undergrad, social work and public health in graduate school, and also related to this, I am also the family member of a survivor. And so this is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart, in addition to working with students for 9 years, 6 of those being at Penn State Berks.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that's a lot. And I know we're going to get into soon that April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and you have some great events that you've planned and coordinated. But before we get into that, when you mentioned bystander, was it bystander intervention?
Yes, bystander intervention.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Bystander intervention is providing students the tools to be able to, I really like to emphasize, step up to their line in finding the comfort in being able to intervene when I also like to say, when their gut is telling them that something is off, that somebody may be in risk of harm or somebody may be at risk of danger. And so giving them tools, we utilize some of the language that people may recognize from Green Dot, and so that's direct, distract, and delegate intervention strategies to be able to make sure that people can be safe. So if two people are arguing, it may make sense, if you're not involved and you know neither of them, to distract them in a way of asking for directions if it's outside, of I'm really looking for this place, and can you help me find it? That sometimes just cutting that tension in that moment can really be important. Or talking to somebody and saying like, hey, I'm ready to go home, let's go. If two people are in a situation and you're feeling really uncomfortable with where things are headed. Or getting somebody else involved in delegation. And so whether that is an RA if you're living on campus, that's somebody from our office, whether that's police services if you're off campus, or other resources that can step in and let somebody know that you're worried about them.
I love those specific examples you gave, because you're teaching people, college students and anyone, that there are many, many ways you can intervene in a situation if your gut is telling you that something is wrong, rather than just looking the other way, and who knows what happens to those people's lives. If more and more people don't just look the other way, but really take a few minutes to do any of those options while still keeping themselves safe, that's really awesome. So thank you for what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and maybe if I could ask you to, before we get into Sexual Assault Awareness Month, the other thing you mentioned was Title IX.
Yes.
And maybe if you could just mention what you do and Penn State Berks, and I know all colleges do this to help protect people's rights.
Yes. So there are a lot of policies relating to Title IX, one of which is providing resource people on the campuses. And so there's an office located at University Park that combs through a lot of the reports that are received and directing and delegating as to what's needed to be done. My primary role when I am working with a student is getting them connected to resources and understanding what their rights are. And some of the rights that can be some of the hardest, as I'm sure in working at Safe Berks for you as well, is their right to not do anything with that information other than receive services. So whether that is getting them connected with Stacy, who has office hours on our campus, whether that is getting them into our counseling services on campus, whether that's helping them to rearrange their schedule if they have class with the individual that may have assaulted them, stalked them, any of the other things that fall within Title IX. Or simply just listening to them and letting them have that opportunity to get their choice back and saying, no, I want none of those things.
Right, and listening is such a big part of what we do too. And I'll just mention quick, when you said Stacy Jordan is our full-time Safe Berks employee. She's the campus advocate and paralegal who serves students at local colleges. So if you contact Safe Berks, we can get you in touch with Stacy, or you can email her directly at Stacy, STACEYJ, at safeberks.org. So now I know you have some exciting events coming up. Tell me about April 1st, Night Walkers.
So in talking with my colleagues on campus, I wanted to do a Take Back the Night like event.
Right.
I know that they historically have done them at Penn State Berks, but we haven't had the organization, the student organization on campus for a very long time that used to coordinate those. I think it's been since my first year is the last time that we've had one. And so working with our campus activities board, I was able to come up with this idea of illuminating the night and having Sexual Assault Awareness Month really be about bringing this out of the darkness and having people talk about it. And so doing a nighttime event and using glow sticks and using black lighting and things like that to highlight the different tables. And if you've been on our campus, we have a plaza. And so having tables around that plaza that people can literally walk around and learn more about the resources that are offered in Berks County. One of the things that I'm really excited about is they'll actually have a rape kit on campus that students can actually see how little the swabs are that they use. I know I was very surprised after hearing all of the things that are in the media about how traumatizing a rape kit can be, to see those things and be able to have students be able to talk to their peers or support their peers if they do have to go through that process at the local hospital. We'll also have a table where we're focusing on some of the bystander intervention strategies, and we have a group of students from one of the criminal justice classes that's going to be working with me, and I'm hoping I can get them to maybe act out some scenarios and help people be able to practice those skills for those kinesthetic learners. In addition to just having more resources about what we're doing on campus. And so I know Stacy will be there, so another shameless plug for her. But it'll be really great to have that. And then we're still working out some of the details with the students on campus to see what they want to see from the event as well. But trying to really bring some life to that plaza after dark.
I love what you're doing. You're taking your own Penn State Berks spin on a really famous event, Take Back the Night, which has been held across the world, really. And I just want to mention, I thought this was interesting. I found that it was actually started in 1975 by a group of women in London, England, who gathered on a street after dark to protest against sexual violence. And then it got the name Take Back the Night. It spread to around the world, but first in our country in New York City and San Francisco. And then from there, it kind of took off, especially at college campuses. So I wish you all the luck with that. It sounds like a great night. And then you have another fun event coming up. Is this Sexual Assault Awareness Month Glow Bingo? Tell me about that.
So again, I'm working with our campus activities board, and several times a semester they have extremely successful bingo events. For being a college campus and being at our college campus as long as I've been really surprised at how well bingo does on a college campus.
It's fun.
And so like it's really associated with like nursing facilities and like elderly homes and assisted living facilities, but our students love it. And so I wanted to take that spin, and again, I'm working with our campus activities board to be able to bring that event. Their expertise in branding, as far as people knowing it's going to be a good bingo if their name's on it. But again, we're going to have it in our multi-purpose room. We're going to have the lights dimmed. We're going to have the glow equipment that we use for the night walkers to really, again, illuminate the room. And all of the bingo squares are going to be different statistics that are related to sexual assault. So both college and overall statistics that could be powerful and helpful. So as we read each number, instead of it just being B9, it's going to be 1 in 9. And then explaining what that statistic means for our students to be able to have a different way of them learning about this topic instead of me standing up there and reading all of the statistics at them, because nobody wants to sit through that.
But it makes it interactive, it makes it fun. Everyone
and then of
likes
course
a good
prizes.
game of bingo. It's true, I love it. Great, well thank you so much, Autumn, for joining this show today. And check out www.safeberks.org. That's our website, and in addition to the activities at Penn State Berks, there will be many other activities during the month of April for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, where local colleges and other organizations and Safe Berks are trying to get the message out, both about prevention of sexual violence and also the good news about healthy sexuality. So we hope that you will tune in and check out our events. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us. This is the place you start. Visit us at safeberks.org or by calling 610-373-1206.